right now, so I've got to be a bit quiet. Not really. This is just my little intro for podcast number... Oh gosh, what number is it? I think it's 5 or 6. I don't know, I'm losing count. It's a bit scary that I start to lose count after only a handful of numbers. But I'll worry about that later, I guess. What do I talk about on this episode? I talk about a topic very near and dear to my heart. I talk about chicken parmesanas, ladies and gentlemen, the chicken parma. And I discuss a few of my favourite ones around Melbourne town. Other than that, there's not a whole lot I kind of talk about in this episode. I get distracted by a little puppy and by stickers on someone's car. And that's pretty much this episode. Oh, and I sing a little bit of a song for you guys at the end. I don't sing it very well, but I sing it out of love and, for you and to you. And that's what's really important here. So anyway, here it is, On the Way with Matty K. Check it out. Enjoy. Fuck off, everyone. Kidding. I am kidding. I'm kidding, and I'm also on the way to Supafly Sundays, episode number 5 of this brand new little podcast project of mine. And as I've said before, I'm having some fun with this thing. It's not as tight and as entertaining yet as I'd probably like it to be, but we'll get there in time. We'll have more guests. I've had one guest now, in 5 podcasts, and we'll get better at this thing, everyone. But yeah, I'm on the way to Supafly Sundays. Got to make a quick little detour first to Trish, who, speaking of, the one guest I've had on the show, got to drop some stuff off to Trish. She won't be joining us, but she may say hello if I decide to keep recording. But it is a quick drop off there, and if you can hear the thing in the back there kind of rattling around, that's what I've got to drop off to her. Got to drop off a big suitcase and stuff. So anyway, it's pretty boring. It's neither here nor there. And yeah, so yesterday towards the end, hang on, am I going to run a red light? Oh no, I'm not. Towards the end of yesterday's podcast, I was talking about a made-for-TV movie made back in 1996 called The Late Shift, all about the late night TV wars in America there in the early 90s, early to mid 90s, between David Letterman and Jay Leno. And watching this movie again, it had been years since I'd seen it, and watching it again, it is more about the business of show business. And even at the end of the movie, it pops up on screen this bit of writing that says there's no business like show business, as the saying goes, because the movie was more about the business of show business. It was less about the personal kind of relationship between David Letterman and Jay Leno, and more about TV execs jockeying for position and all that sort of stuff. It was fascinating. It's a good little movie. If you haven't watched it, you can find the whole thing on YouTube. It's got Kathy Bates in it. She plays Helen Kushnick, who was a bad bitch. She was a bad bitch not to be messed with. She was Jay Leno's former manager. She might still be, I'm not too sure. Although at the end of the movie it says that she left showbiz altogether. But yeah, fascinating little insight into the business of show business. So do yourself a favour, type in The Late Shift movie, I guess, you throw movie on the end of it, The Late Shift movie, into YouTube, and you'll find it, the full movie there. Great little bit of viewing. Highly recommend. But yeah, so that's that. I also spoke briefly last night about a topic that I was going to cover today, and I'll cover it now because, again, like yesterday's podcast, struggling a bit with Jesus, what the fuck is going on here? Fucking hell. Really got into an accident. People just fucking sitting there at green lights. Had to very quickly fucking dodge around some fucking tool. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, I wanted to, because again, I'm running a bit short on topics to talk about on this podcast. I haven't really done much thought this week about topics that I could discuss, but I did touch yesterday on a topic that I wanted to talk about today because it has more relevance today for me personally, and that's chicken parmas. Sunday has fast become Parma Day, or sorry, Monday morning, I guess you could say. After Supafly, myself and a few other colleagues, we jump in the cars, we carpool it down to a place called Chapelli's on Chapel Street, which if you're from Melbourne, you're more than likely familiar with it. It's a 24-hour restaurant cafe right there on Chapel Street, and they serve a pretty mean parma. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are very passionate about the topic of chicken parmas, I being one of them, myself being one of them, and I have indulged in quite a few in my time. A good mate of mine by the name of Josh, he and I, for a while there, we haven't done it in a very long time, but for a while there we were quite regularly going and dining out and trying parmas all across town, all across Melbourne. And I think the next time he and I will go and have a parma will be at a place down in Hastings. Can't remember the name of the joint, but Josh, my friend Josh, tagged me on Facebook. They have this parma challenge at this particular joint in Hastings, and you've got, I think it was 45 minutes or something to eat what looks like a gigantic parma and a fuckload of chips. And yeah, so that'll probably be the next time that he and I go and have a parma together. But the next time I have an actual parma, just, you know, will be after Supafly tonight. Who's that beeping? Are they beeping at me? What the fuck's going on? No, they're not? Okay. Yeah, so Chapelli's, you do a pretty good parma at your fine establishment there, and I highly recommend it to anyone out there. Another good place that does a good parma is a place on Lygon Street. They're not open 24 hours, as I found out a little while ago. I was investigating it. I thought they were, because I have gone there, I'm pretty sure, pretty late at night, but I think they're open pretty late. They're open till about, I think they're open till about 2 a.m. most nights of the week. A place called Cafe Notturno. Cafe Notturno! You know, it's on Lygon Street, so you got to put your best Italian accent on when you talk about this place. Cafe Notturno! Notturno! They do a pretty good parma. They do a good parma. They do such a good parma that when I went there once with my friend Josh again, and I think my friend Archie might have been there as well, who is Josh's cousin. They're two good mates of mine. Probably my two best mates, really. And or it might have just been me and Josh. I can't remember exactly. Actually, yeah, it might have just been me and Josh this particular time. Fucking hell, I fucked up here, guys. I was supposed to take a turn. Gotta get to Trish's. I fucked up. I can't get over. Yes, anyway, this place, Cafe Noturno, their Parma is so good that I once had 2 Parmas in one sort of sitting there. And I'm talking Parma meals, like I'm talking, the Parma, the chips, the salads, the drink. Such a good Parma that I couldn't stop at one. I had to have another. So I had 2 Parma meals in this one sitting there at Cafe Noturno once. And it was just fucking glorious. Cafe Noturno, Lygon Street. You do a fucking good Parma as well. Where's another place? Josh and I have gone to many places and had Parmas. I can't remember them all. There is a place, my friend Josh is from down like near Warrigal. He's from Druin. And there's apparently a place down in sort of Gippsland, Warrigal, I think it's a bit further out, called the Tool Shed, that apparently do the best Parma that my friend Josh has ever had. I haven't had one from there yet. He and I haven't gone there. It is on the cards though. We will be going there. Because he and I have had the same Parmas, and we usually give our Parma meals the same rating. We usually have the same opinion on each of these Parma meals that we end up sort of having, and he reckons the one from the Tool Shed is just the best one of all. So so I've got to try that one out. The Tool Shed in somewhere down in southern Gippsland. So they do a very good Parma as well. Where else is there? Of course, there's Mrs. Parma's there in the heart of the city. I expected more from their Parma. If you've got a place that is called Mrs. Parma's and you specialise in chicken parmesanas, you better make sure you make the best fucking Parma around. And I'm just not too sure that they do there. I think Chapelli's and Cafe Noturno have Mrs. Parma's covered. Schnitz is not even really worth talking about, because it's a shopping centre food court Parma. You kind of get what you expect there. You get a small chicken Parma and some chips. Their chips are pretty good. I will give them that. But a Parma really needs to be a meal. The Parma itself needs to be fucking big and thick and juicy. You need to have a lot of chips, and we don't want to have the chips. I think I speak for everybody in the world. I don't know why I just went into an American accent there. Or at least I think I speak for everybody in countries that do Parmas. I don't think they really do chicken Parmas in Italy. I don't think they really do them in America either. I think it's actually one of those things that is like uniquely sort of Australian, I think, a chicken Parma. Like, it's not, but it's like, it's not really like, it's not really an Italian meal either. The Parma, I think, comes from the Parmesan cheese that they put on top of it. So anyway, look, I think in the country, I'll say the country. I won't go as so far as to say everyone in the world. I'll say the country. I think I speak for everybody in the country when I say that we do not want our chips underneath our Parmas. It is fucking bullshit. Separate them. If you need to get bigger plates, get bigger fucking plates. But have a separate spot on that plate for the Parma, a separate spot for the salad, and a separate spot for the fucking chips. Stop putting the fucking chips underneath the fucking Parma. And they do that at Chapelli's, but they also do that pretty much everywhere. And it's fucking bullshit. So if you own a restaurant and you make chicken Parmas and you're hearing this, you want to separate yourself from the pack a little bit,
try having your chips not underneath your Parma. Because it's a pain in the ass to go through, to have to lift up your meal and to lift up the Parma with your fork and then separate your chips with your knife and move them to the side of the plate, scrape the chips that are stuck to the Parma, you know, off the Parma and then move them. Yeah, it's just a fucking pain in the ass. Just separate it all. Don't just dump the fucking Parma on top of the chips. Okay, so where else? There's a place called Airstream in Glen Waverley here. And this is an interesting one because for a long time, I used to go there regularly with friends, and for a long time they did a very good Parma. And then I went there with the same friends and got the same Parma, and so did practically everybody else. But their Parma changed somewhere along the line, somewhere along the way. Their Parma changed for some unknown reason, and it changed not for the better, it changed for the worse. And then, you know, we were all disappointed with this Parma, and I think we gave it another maybe 1 or 2 goes after that, because we thought maybe it's just a once-off kind of thing here. But no, the 2 or 3 times, or the 1 or 2 times that we went after that and got the same Parma, it was the same thing as the time before. It was bad. It wasn't as good as it used to be. So we stopped going there for a long period of time. And I just recently, as recently as a couple of weeks ago, went there with Josh and Archie again. And I can't remember if they got the Parma. I don't think they did. I know I certainly did. And their Parma, congratulations, Airstream, your Parma has become good again. So, you know, well done on that. Appreciate that. So there's another good Parma, Airstream. I'm going to say you're good, even though you were bad for a long time. You were good for a long time, then you went bad for a long time, and now you're good again, and hopefully you'll be good for a long time again, and you'll never go back to being bad. So we've got, what have we got there? We got Cafe Noturno on Lygon Street. We got Chapelli's on Chapel Street. We got Airstream out in Glen Waverley. All do a pretty mean Parma. There's a lot of places that claim to do a good Parma, and a lot of them I've still got to check out. I've still got to try. But those are 3 that I can say, you know, with a fair amount of confidence, they do a good Parma. So go and try it. Go and test it out, people. And yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty good. I've got to just go and get petrol quickly, so I'm gonna stop recording for the moment. I'll go put petrol in, and maybe something will happen in the time that I put petrol in and pay for it and come back to the car that'll give me something else to talk about. I think I've spoken before about petrol stations on this podcast. I know I did on one of my test podcasts that I haven't put up. I'm not too sure if I have on the ones that I have put up, so maybe I'll come back and talk about a little gripe I have with petrol stations. And like I said, I may be going over old ground, but if I am, I don't really give a fuck. Anyway, so I'm going to stop recording now because I've just pulled up. We're going to get petrol. I'll be back in a minute, guys. I'm back. And I've just realised some potentially devastating news as I looked in my wallet and realised that I don't really have all that much money in my wallet or in my bank account at all right now. I'm going out the wrong fucking way. So I may not be able to eat at Chapelli's. I may not be able to have a Parma at Chapelli's after work, and that will fucking devastate me. If my pay doesn't go through by the time I get there and I can't have a Parma, fuck. That's really gonna fucking shit me. Anyway, I just went to put petrol in, and it was at a new petrol station. If you're familiar with the southeastern region of Melbourne, you've got the Stud Road and Heatherton Road intersection, and you've got Red Rooster on one side of the road. You've got a BP across the road from that, and you've got another service station. You've got the Dandenong Club across from that. You've got another two service stations actually, and then you've got on the corner you've got a new Caltex. And it's the first time I've gone there since it's been there. They used to have one there years ago, because I grew up a stone's throw away from the intersection of Heatherton and Stud Roads. I grew up in a street called Judith Street, if you want to go and have a look. Lived there like all throughout my childhood and early adulthood. So yeah, there was a petrol station there for years, and then for years there wasn't one, and it was just a vacant lot. Because I think when you close a petrol station down or something, I think there's some law or something that says you can't like build on that land for like 10 years or something like that. I think a certain amount of time has to go by before you can build something again on that land, because that land, after you get rid of all the petrol tank, the petrol fucking Bowsers and all that sort of shit, like the land needs to settle or some shit. I don't know, maybe Google it. I think there's something like that. There's some fucking rule like that. But then that BP across the road, they closed down for a little while, and it wasn't for 10 years. It was a BP, they knocked it down and then built another BP with a Macca's attached to it. But it wasn't like 10 years where there wasn't a petrol station there. So I don't know. Maybe go Google it if you give a fuck. I probably will Google it later, actually, because now I want to know. Yeah, so I filled up at this new petrol station and realised that I may not have. I put $20 petrol in, got me 184 kilometres, and that's going to be enough to get me to and from work. But I don't know if the money I have left in my wallet and my bank account are going to enable me to eat after work. I may just have to settle for Macca's. I don't want to do that. I want a fucking Parma. So yeah, on the way to Supafly Sundays, firstly on the way to Trish's house to drop off something. I have a learner driver in front of me. I probably shouldn't have let them change lanes and get in front of me, because it's just going to slow me up. But hey, we've all been there before. You know what I mean? We've all been learner drivers. And, you know, like, yeah, sometimes it's a bit annoying when you're behind one. But when you realise, hey, that was me at one point in time, then, you know, you should feel like less of a dickhead for getting annoyed at them being slow in front of you, because that was you one time probably. You know, I don't know if it was me. I think I was always a bit of a lead foot. But yeah, anyway. Oh, so we've covered Parmas. We've covered a movie called The Late Shift. What else have we got? Let me go to my notes. I covered the bus stop thing yesterday. So I'm going to cross off a couple of things here that I've now talked about. And yeah, running pretty low on topics to talk about. There is one there that as I yawn, there is one topic there that I wrote a few weeks back now, and I'm not sure if it's really. It was a bit of a when I wrote it down, it was a bit of a prediction of mine, and I think it's a prediction at the moment that hasn't really come true. there was this killer whale at SeaWorld in the US. Was it SeaWorld or was it one of these other... It was one of these SeaWorld type things. And it died recently. It died a few weeks ago. Its name was Tilikum. And whatever your opinions are on, you know, animals and whales and things being kept in captivity, I think we all kind of share the same opinion these days. But when I heard this news... Oh, hang on, I just got people that don't know how to fucking drive in front of me. When I heard this news, it made me wonder. When that gorilla died, what was it, mid last year or something? That gorilla that they killed because that kid fell into the gorilla enclosure, Harambe, the gorilla. It's been this Harambe the gorilla has been the butt of jokes and memes and shit like that for a while now, since its unfortunate death. And when I heard that this Tilikum died, it just made me think, well, is Tilikum going to become the new Harambe? Are we going to see all these memes and things now of Tilikum? You know, is Tilikum going to take over the title from Harambe? So far it hasn't happened. And, you know, that's probably a good thing. I don't know. But it just made me think, you know, well, just when you think you know the human race, and just when you think you've figured them out, and you think, now that a killer whale has died, they're going to make fun of a killer whale, not a dead gorilla. They surprise you, and they do neither. So, yeah, good on people, I guess, for not turning the unfortunate circumstances of Tilikum the killer whale into a meme or a joke. Because it's not really a joke. It's not really a laughing matter at all. I've taken the longest way to get to Trish's house. I fucked up from the beginning. Wasn't paying attention. And that's one of the things about doing this podcast, is that, you know, the last couple you would have heard me miss turns and things like that. I think, as much as I'm enjoying doing this podcast and everything, I'm going to continue to do it. It is making me miss a few turns here and there. And that, in turn, no pun intended, makes me late for work, and yeah. I'm not going to really be late tonight. It's only 9:18. Doors open for Supafly at 10 o'clock. So I'll probably get there just a little bit before then. And yeah, Supafly. We've been doing Supafly now for nearly 2 years. It'll be 2 years at the end of March. I believe March 21st or 22nd. And this has always been our busier period, between sort of mid to late December till about early to mid March. Supafly is usually pretty good. So if you're doing nothing on a Sunday, come on down. People are on holidays. Well, I think high school probably goes back next week, or maybe the week after. Uni students don't have any excuse to not be there, because you don't start until fucking March, right? Get your fucking head out of your ass. Yeah, maybe you're working your fucking part-time jobs a little more over the summer periods, but I doubt whether a lot of you are working on a Sunday night. So get the fuck out, come out, get out of the house, gather a group of friends, come and have a fucking drink, and come and have a fucking good time on a Sunday night. Like, fucking hell. And on a Saturday, for that matter. I mean, you know, like I said, a lot of you are probably taking on some more hours at your part-time jobs, and a lot of you uni students, you're probably working at bars and things like that, so you're probably working a little more on Saturday nights. I get that, but I still think there's a lot of you that aren't, and I think you need to fucking come out and have a good time, because it is still the party season, really. To me, the party season begins mid-December and goes through till about mid-March. And then life goes back to kind of being normal or whatever. You know, but there's no fucking excuse. Get the fuck out of it. Get out. Get out. Get out. Sick of it. Get out on the town. You know, there's not too many places to go on a Sunday night in Melbourne. Supafly, the doors are always open. Therapy nightclub, level 3 at Crown. If you're into R&B, then you'll fucking love it. Alright? Fucking sick of this shit, people. Sick of it. We work hard. Our 9 to 5s. You know, we work hard studying. You deserve to come out and let your hair down a bit and get a little wild. And this is the time to do it. What is it? It's fucking, what is it? It's 22nd of January. It's the 22nd of fucking January, people. There's no excuse. Come out. Fucking hell. I've got to grab my phone now. I've got to text Trish and let her know I'm outside. Still recording. Good. Wow, my screen is bright. First I'm going to turn down the brightness of my screen, because fucking hell. And I'm going to write what I usually write to Trish, and that is just one word. Here. And yeah, I'll keep recording, I guess. Because why the fuck not? That's a big bat. Saw a fuckload of them flying around again too on my way here. Just about 20 minutes ago. Good, Trish is already walking out. That's good. Alright, just pull up here. Don't want to go over those stones. Oh, it's in the boot. I don't think I have anything to really report.
How was it anyways?
Yeah. Not more than usual. Really? Yeah, it was alright. I think we had probably like 80 people or something. It was noticeable. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. We you later. Probably should have stopped recording because we just kind of ended up talking outside there. I don't know if you could really pick up any of what we were saying. You probably couldn't. I might have to just cut that minute or two out. That's alright, that's easy done. Alright, now we are officially on the way to Supafly Sundays. Yeah. Got nothing to really talk about, to be honest. Maybe that's what I should do with this podcast. You know, again, like, it's all trial and error. You know, I'm doing this whole, like, on the way thing, and I feel like I need to record from the time I get in my car to the time I get out. But if I've got nothing to talk about, there's no point in sort of keeping it going, really, is there? I should just fucking hit stop, even if it, you know, comes at 15 or 20 minutes. I think I've done a pretty good job, though, of just kind of talking shit, really, for the length of my drives. I think I've done a pretty good job of filling up 45 minutes with nothing to really talk about. Fucking yawning again. I've got this. I've got sciatica, people. Right? And a lot of you probably, because whenever I tell someone, you know, that I've got this, they never know what the fuck it is. It's when you have like a numbness and a burning, usually in the outside of one of your upper thighs. Well, your thigh is your upper leg, so yeah, your thigh. And it's generally caused by bulging discs in the back. So I've been dealing with this for a while. I used to get this numbness and this burning in my left thigh just every now and then. It wasn't anything that was really frequent or anything like that. But in the last probably 6 months to a year, it's been constant, and it doesn't really cause you any great discomfort or pain. You can still manage to kind of get through your day-to-day life with it, but when you're on your feet for 10, 11, 12 hours, as I am often on a Saturday, Sunday night, it can really like start to affect you. And this whole week, I feel like I've been sore, and I feel like I've been recovering from last weekend. And it's probably just another one of those things, along with, you know, nose hairs that I was talking about on, I think, episode 1 of my podcast, which this fucking nose thing still hasn't really cleared up for me. It's really fucking annoying me. But yeah, maybe it's just one of those things, another one of those things you got to deal with as you get older. Apparently my mum and dad sort of suffer from a bit of it as well. But yeah, it's really getting to a point where it's becoming harder to deal with. And, you know, I don't really want to have to go under the knife to repair bulging discs in my back. You know, if I can fix this thing through just like, even if it's just like stretching and stuff like that. Like I have researched a little bit of it online, but I haven't really researched it as intently as I probably should. I mean, if I'm in such discomfort and pain and stuff like that, and wouldn't I want to fix it? You know what I mean? So I've looked at a couple of things online about, you know, stretches and things you can do to kind of help with it. Oh, what a cute little puppy! You know when you see like such a cute little puppy that you just want to squeeze its skull, like, you know, you just want to squeeze its little head until it pops. They're so cute. That's what I just saw. I think it was a staffy. It was like a little staffy puppy, probably about 8 weeks old, I reckon. 8 to 10 weeks old. Pretty little. Yeah, so if anybody, has the same, if you suffer from a bit of sciatica out there as well, and you do some things that sort of help with it a bit, let me know. Because it's starting to really fucking piss me off. Like, I honestly haven't really had any. It's my left thigh has been, the outside of my left thigh has pretty much been numb 24/7 for at least 6 months. Possibly even longer. So it's been this numbness and this burning and stuff that I've been getting for years in it, but it used to just be every now and then. Now it's a lot more regular. It's constant. It's so regular that it's constant now. So yeah, very annoying, and it makes my work on a Saturday, Sunday night physically much more demanding than it should be. Oh, I'm yawning again. And I think I had a reasonable sleep. I was talking yesterday about, never really sleeping very well because I have shit pillows. But I think I managed to have a reasonable sleep when I got home this morning from Supafly. From Electric Dreams, sorry. I got home at 7 a.m, which is generally the time I get home. Yeah, it'll probably be the same today. I'll probably get home. I might get home a little bit earlier than 7 a.m. But especially if I go and have this Parma. Oh, yawning again. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Yawning again. Yeah. I'm probably not going to be able to get this Parma. It's fucking heartbreaking. I wait all week for it. Might have to settle for pancakes. They do reasonable pancakes at Japelli's as well, but a man wants a Parma. By the time I'm done, Macca's will be serving fucking breakfast. What is this car doing? I don't know, so I'm gonna fucking get ahead of it. Have I touched on this? I think I have, haven't I? I touched briefly on the Macca's breakfast. I don't want to do it again. I don't want to just turn every podcast into my frustration at the Macca's breakfast menu. But yeah, I will say this: get rid of it. Oh well, look, don't get rid of it. Keep it if you want, but just make it that people like myself who work nights can get a fucking double quarter pounder at 5 a.m. That's all I ask. Or 6 or 7 a.m. or at any fucking time. Hungry Jacks do it. Fucking dickheads. I think what I might do now is I'm going to do something I haven't done in any of my podcast episodes yet. This is episode 5. And, well, I mean, I paused it before when I went to put petrol in. And I probably should have paused it when I went to Trish to drop stuff off. But I'm going to pause it. Oh, pardon me. Fuck, now I've got the hiccups. I'm yawning and now I've got the hiccups. What the fuck is wrong with me? And I've got sciatica. What's next? I'm yawning again. Oh, my God. Alright, so I'm going to pause because I don't really have much to fucking talk about, and this probably is just the most non-entertaining bit of listening you can probably listen to, if that makes sense. So I'm going to pause, and and I'm going to probably just sit here in my car quietly because I got no working radio. And if I think of something else to talk about, I'll come back. Alright, so maybe I'll see ya. I will give a proper sign off if I do happen to not come back and say anything more for this podcast. I will at the very least do a proper sign off when I park. So I'll pause now, and I may or may not come back to you guys with a new topic. It's been 45 minutes already. I'm not even on the freeway yet to get to work. So, you know, cut me some fucking slack, alright? Anyway, I shall be back. Okay, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going through the tunnel right now. I haven't really got anything else to kind of say or any more topics to sort of touch on. I thought I'd just sort of wrap this baby up. I said I'd be back to wrap it up. And that's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do before that is, if you've listened to the first episode of my podcast and the second, you'll know that I really would love to throw in some music in between topics on this podcast and sort of turn it into more of a radio show, playing some music and stuff like that. But YouTube always fucking says to me, you can't add, you know, this song to your fucking video. So I get fucked in that regard. So what I'm going to do right now to close off this little podcast is I'm going to sing a bit of a song for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a song that is it's often stuck in my head, and I just listened to it just a few minutes ago, and I sung it here in the car to myself just a few minutes ago, and I thought, well, why don't I sing this to you guys, you know, to finish this podcast. So damn it, that's what I'm gonna fucking do right now. I might not sing the whole song, but it's a song that's from the Boys to Men album 2 that came out in about 1993, I believe. It's a song, it's a beautiful song, it's a ballad. And I want to dedicate this song to all the beautiful ladies out there. It's a song called On Bended Knee. And it goes a little something like this. A bit of a car capella for you, ladies and gentlemen, as I sing you guys to the end of this podcast. You've been listening to On the Way with Matty K. You can come on down to Electric Dreams any Saturday night, or to Supafly Sundays any Sunday. Matty K will be there, and he may even sing this for you. Anyway, it goes a little something like this. Dun, 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 dun. Darling, I can't explain. Where do we lose our way? Girl, it's driving me insane. And I know I just need one more chance to prove my love to you. And if you come back to me, I'll guarantee that I'll never let you go. Can we go back to the days our love was strong? Can you tell me how a perfect love goes wrong? Can somebody tell me how to get things back the way they used to be? Oh God, give me a reason. I'm down on bended knee. I'll never walk again until you come back to me. I'm down on bended knees. Boom, boom, boom. Well, look at that car. That's got a lot of fucking stickers on it. So many nights I dream of you, holding my pillow tight. I know that I don't need to be alone. Yeah, when I open up my eyes to face reality, every moment without you, it seems like eternity. I'm begging you, come back to me. Oh, Jesus. Fucking hell, Grandpa. Well, let's fuck the song up. I never said it was going to be a good rendition of it. I can't really be fucked like really going for it and belting it out. But trust me, I can do that song a lot better justice than what I've just done. I'll do the chorus one more time. I'll pull up, I'll do the chorus and try and do the chorus in an attempt to save face a little bit. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hang on. Let me just actually park. Let me park and take a breath. All right. Lights off. It's 10:01 to end podcast number 5. Here we go. A little bit of Boyz II Men on Bended Knee, the chorus. Here we go. Can we go back to the days our love was strong? Can you tell me how a perfect love goes wrong? Can somebody tell me how to get things back the way they used to be? Oh God, give me a reason. I'm down on bended knee. Alright, catch you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.